Welcome to part 2 of my continental detour home, flying Ethiopian Airlines business class. Now this flight was supposed to be the flagship experience, the newest aircraft, the premium route, but as you'll soon see, the timing of this journey would prove otherwise. So let's get straight into it. I just arrived from Dubai on one of Ethiopian's Boeing 777s. And this was my first time through Addis Ababa. Addis is Ethiopian Airlines' global hub. And honestly, it surprised me. Fast-track security in transit worked smoothly, which immediately took the stress out of the connection. Moments later, I was back in the thick of it, the hustle and bustle of the departures area, making my way toward Ethiopian's flagship lounge. This is the Sheba Cloud9 lounge, the flagship of the 3 Ethiopian lounges here. And yes, there's an actual red carpet welcome. Inside, the first thing you see is a dedicated coffee lounge. Now, if you didn't already know, Ethiopia is famous for its coffee, and for very good reason. Sadly for me, it was well past my caffeine cut-off time, so I had to admire it from a distance and move on. The lounge itself is made up of several smaller rooms or seating area, signpost pointing you toward the different facilities, which I oddly appreciated. Then I spotted something I really didn't expect. A massage room? For a business class lounge, that's unusual. This is a cool feature to have. One of the real standout features though is the bar. Moving into the main catering area, the food selection here is genuinely extensive. There are several signature Ethiopian dishes. This was actually my first proper introduction to Ethiopian cuisine, and honestly, it only strengthened my resolve to visit Ethiopia itself one day. The dish you really want to look out for is misa kitwat. It's rich, aromatic, and deeply spiced. You can enjoy it with rice, potatoes, or injera, a local sourdough flatbread with a spongy texture and a tangy bite. A quick warning though, the food is on the spicy side. The rest of the lounge opens up into one large wide space. During the daytime, this area would be filled with natural light. There is a quiet zone for sleeping, which is this room with chaise lounges. Though if I'm honest, it's not the most inviting space. Overall though, the lounge is decent, it feels proudly local, but it's not bougie like some global carriers. With just under an hour to departure, I headed for my gate. Originally, this flight was meant to be operated by Ethiopian's brand new A350-1000, part of my motivation to book it. But just 3 days before departure, the aircraft was swapped for a 350-900. Addis Ababa Airport seems to deploy security checks right at the gate. I'm not sure whether this is airport-wide or destination-specific, but I didn't notice it at the other gates I walked past. The departure area itself was buzzing, but it was so huge there was space to breathe. Priority boarding was clearly respected, with specific business class and priority lanes. Moving towards the corner, our aircraft came into view, wearing the full Star Alliance livery. Even if this wasn't the jet I'd originally booked, seeing a special A350 at a major global hub always sparks a little joy. Now, on paper, both aircraft use the same Zodiac Optima Business class seat. I'd originally selected C8L, which auto-changed to 5J, and you might think how different could that really be? Well, rather a lot actually. Stepping on board, the colours, lighting and technology all delivered that new generation feeling. Once I sat down, there was some noticeable wear and tear on the seat, which seemed odd for a relatively new aircraft, but that wasn't the real issue. As you can see, some window seats on this aircraft don't actually have usable windows. Seat 5J, and possibly most odd-numbered window seats on Ethiopian's 350s might genuinely be some of the worst window seats in the sky. The side console is positioned so awkwardly that it completely blocks any point of a window. In my mind, I had one baffling thought: just what were they thinking? This one deserves being called out. Then I also wondered if United Polaris seats would face a similar fate on a 350. That said, this isn't a suite, no doors, nothing cutting edge. This is a practical long-haul business class product otherwise. At the seat there was a bedding pack, branded slippers and an amenity kit with all the essentials, the same contents as my earlier Dubai flight. Something that does shine though is the crew. From the get-go, they were warm, attentive, and proudly wearing the beautiful Ethiopian uniforms. Welcome drinks and hot towels onwards. Service never felt rushed or scripted, it felt human.
You are not willing and able to perform the described function in the event of an emergency.
To London, we are carried out to have chosen to fly Ethiopian Airlines, both with African-based airlines, but the expense paid is summary and the timber's plan together with Captain and the entire crew are here to show off such a double journey. We like to extend our one welcome to Sheba members, Starland passengers. Our flight time to London will be 7 hours and 20 minutes and we will fly at 39,000 feet. Should you can assist us during the flight, please not hesitate to contact a member of the crew. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is prohibited on the aircraft, including lavatories.
በአየር መንገድ ለመብረር እንኳን ደህና መጣችሁ።
Oh, that works for Saturday. Ah, suggesting I was late. What's the truth? All for music fire. Road sign. Goodbye to Stanford.
With departure scheduled just after midnight, the menu offered only light snacks as post-departure service rather than a full dinner. It was understandable, but still a little disappointing. This was meant to be a flagship destination after all, and I really wanted to experience Ethiopia's onboard cuisine. That said, I wasn't particularly hungry either. I'll show the menu for both directions of this London route for completeness. In the end, I chose to skip any midnight snacks and get some rest. On this A350, there are 2 dedicated business class bathrooms at the front of the cabin. They're fairly standard, but were kept clean throughout the flight. Amenities were okay, nothing too fancy. I did appreciate the sanitizing wipes. After brushing my teeth, I prepped the seat for sleep as most of the cabin turned in and lights dimmed. Ethiopian doesn't provide mattress pads, so I requested a second duvet. The crew happily obliged. Doubling up the duvet added just enough cushioning and layer between the seat to make the bed surprisingly comfortable. The pillows could be plumper, but they were acceptable. On a red eye like this, sleep really is the luxury. Just before going to sleep, I had a browse of the onboard entertainment, as it looked entirely different to the 777 I just flew in. There did appear to be more content on this 350. I would say there was a decent selection of programs and movies to keep yourself entertained. The interface was smooth and responsive too. I woke up to movement and food aromas, not to a wake-up call I'd requested. Checking the map, We were over the English Channel, just 40 minutes from landing. I'd missed breakfast entirely. At that point, I tried to catch someone for a coffee, and this is where Ethiopian partially recovered the situation. Before I could ask, the crew said, "Would you still like breakfast?" And moments later she delivered, quickly. Fruit, yogurt, cereal first. I'll be honest, the croissant wasn't worth touching. For the main, I chose the spinach, feta, and sun-dried tomato baked egg. It wasn't great, but it was acceptable. Aware of the short time, and to help the crew out, I finished as quick as I could. Impressively, plates were cleared away more than 15 minutes to landing. In many ways, this flight delivered exactly what Ethiopian Airlines is known for: a proud professional crew, a solid functional seat, a brand rooted in hospitality rather than flash. The forgotten wake-up call was recovered well, but does highlight perhaps the crew were a little stretched with morning service. It is rather unlucky that I've now twice flown Ethiopian and twice missed traditional Ethiopian catering on board due to timing and direction. From what I've seen, I'm happy to fly Ethiopian Airlines again if it works on a flight departing Addis Ababa before midnight. The future of Ethiopian looks bright. A brand new mega airport in Addis Ababa has officially broken ground. Commissioning world-renowned Zaha Hadid architects, this $12 billion project is designed to handle over 100 million passengers a year. That's not just growth, that's ambition, an airport built for Africa's next aviation era. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe, it would help out a lot. Thank you for watching, till next time, happy flying.